Doing stuff. What's up, everyone? It's Wind Down Wednesday. How are you all doing?
Wind Down with the Chicago chapter of NABJ, with featured guest Ashley Fields, editor-in-chief of The Hilltop at Howard University.
Cool, but Howard has been, a lot of stuff has been happening on campus, what year are you again, Ashley?
I'm a junior.
Okay, you're a junior. So how had this year, the start of this year got off to it's very explosive. How, were you shocked with some of the things happening with, the students pushing back on some of the treatment they felt that they received at the school?
Yes, ma'am, of course. I feel like this year was definitely an interesting one. It gave us a lot to cover and report on at the Hilltop. I'm sure if everyone knows, but we faced a cyber attack early on that lasted about a month. So that's what we started off with. And then we shortly led into the protests. And so I was surprised to see that protest grow so quickly and so with such a large number, because there have been smaller mini protests on campus, but this one was the one that really stuck. So I wasn't really familiar with the history of the protests at Howard, but I'm not glad that this happened this year, but I feel like I got to experience a very important part of Howard's history.
And also, Mutale Nkande, leader and founder of AI for the People.
How people use misinformation and disinformation interchangeably, but they do mean very different things. So our guest tonight is, as I said, is Mutale Nkande. She is the leader and founder of AI for the People. And AI for the People is a nonprofit communications firm that uses journalism, arts, and culture to advance racial justice in tech. And AFP's mission is to eliminate the underrepresentation of Black professionals in the American technology sector by 2030.
And usually with misinformation, people will go back and correct, but there is no malicious intent. What I'm really interested in, as a former journalist and as a fellow communications scholar, is this idea of disinformation. And what disinformation is misleading information that has a kernel of truth. So in the example I just gave, it was true I was on a podcast. It was true that it was with NABJ, but the details were off. Whereas with disinformation, they'll take something that's very, very true. For example, Black people face racism in the US, and then they will add something that is untrue that's meant to misguide us. So the story might be, Black people face racism in the US, therefore they should not vote. That direction not to vote has political implications, that has implications for power, and it also empowers interests who may be anti-Black and then hurt that community. So disinformation is something that we've heard about a lot because it was really credited in 2016 for being one of the drivers of communication around the Trump-Clinton presidency. So that's the difference between the two.
Wind Down Wednesday is a 30-minute podcast launched by the Chicago chapter of NABJ, covering the hottest news of the month, chapter updates, and meaningful conversations with journalists and media-related professionals of all levels. Hosted by Lee Edwards, Aisha Jefferson, and Will Jones. Produced by Monique Wingard. Join us every final Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m. Central Time.